Welcome to our channel, The Sleepless Archive, your peaceful place for slow, gentle stories from the past for your sleepless night. Today, we will give you the story of the warrior saint. Joan of Arc. In the early 15th century, France was a nation in turmoil. A century-long war with England ravaged the land. Cities burned. Villages starved. The once mighty French crown had splintered. Hope, it seemed, had vanished. But in 1429, hope came not in the form of a king or a seasoned general, but a teenage girl from a small village who said she had been sent by God. Her name was Joan of Arc. Joan was born around 1412 in a quiet village in northeastern France. She was a peasant and educated, devout, and by all appearances, ordinary. But Joan claimed that, from the age of 13, she had heard voices, divine messages from saints like Michael, Catherine, and Margaret. These voices told her that she had a sacred mission to save France, to drive out the English, and to crown the true heir, Charles VII, as King of France. It was unthinkable. A girl leading armies, speaking with kings, but Joan believed, and more importantly, she acted. At just 17, Joan traveled across dangerous enemy territory to the court of Charles VII. She cut her hair short, dressed in men's armor, and stood before the Dauphin, the uncrowned heir to the French throne. Skeptical advisors tested her, theologians questioned her, but her confidence, her conviction, and perhaps a sense of desperation won them over. She was given armor, a sword, a banner bearing the name of Jesus, and command of an army. The year was 1429. The French stronghold of was under siege. English forces had surrounded the city, hoping to deliver a final, crushing blow. Joan arrived with reinforcements. Though she had no formal military training, her presence alone sparked something powerful: belief. Soldiers cheered her. Citizens wept. French morale surged. Joan rode into battle in shining white armor, bearing her banner high. She didn't fight with a sword. Her weapon was faith. Her courage on the front lines was legendary. She was wounded by an arrow, but returned to the fight. Within just 9 days, the siege was broken. The girl who had come from the fields had done what seasoned generals had failed to do for years. She turned the tide of the war, and she wasn't finished. Joan then led Charles's forces on a bold campaign through the Loire Valley. Town after town fell to the French. Her leadership was daring and unconventional but effective. She urged Charles to go to Reims, the traditional site of coronation, deep in enemy territory. He agreed. And on July 17, 1429, in the Grand Cathedral of Reims, Charles VII was crowned King of France. Joan of Arc, daughter of farmers, messenger of God, stood at his side, banner in hand. But glory was fleeting. Political tides turned. Charles, now king, grew cautious. Joan's mission, in his eyes, was complete. But Joan saw it differently. The war was not yet won. In 1430, she was captured by enemy forces outside the city of. She was sold to the English and brought to trial not for warfare, but for heresy. The English feared what Joan represented, a divine symbol of French resistance, a living miracle. She had to be discredited. She was interrogated, threatened, and humiliated by a court of biased judges. Among the charges, wearing men's clothing, claiming divine guidance. Her responses were sharp, often defiant. But the trial was rigged. On May 30th, 1431, at just 19 years old, Joan of Arc was burned at the stake in Rouen. She died in agony, clutching a crucifix, crying the name of Jesus. But her story did not end in flame. 25 years later, her trial was re-examined by the church. The verdict, a sham. Joan was declared innocent. In 1920, she was canonized as a saint by the Catholic Church. Today, Joan of Arc stands not just as a French heroine, but as a symbol of faith, courage, and conviction. A teenager who changed the course of history not through nobility or wealth, but through sheer belief in her mission. She led French troops to victory, not with fear or force, but with something far more powerful: hope. Thank you for joining me on this slow journey through the founding of Rome. If you enjoyed this calm story, please subscribe to Boring History for more soothing tales from the past. Let me know in the comments which time or place you'd like to explore next. Until then, may your days be peaceful and your nights restful. Good night and take care.